Welcome back to Collins Country. It is time for an update on our GreenStalk Garden, which is that 7-tier vertical planter that I'm growing strawberries in. It is so pretty. I cannot wait to show you. It's down here in this little area where I have all of my raised garden beds. There it is. Look at how pretty and cute this thing looks here. So you can see our strawberry plants are doing great. Now, of course, some of them are bigger than others because some of them I put in as plants and some were bare root. So all of these smaller strawberry plants are the bare root strawberry plants that are just starting to take off. But they look great and we will get strawberries off of all of them this year. But the ones that I put in as plants, we've already been getting strawberries off of them. We've already gotten roughly 20-ish strawberries. So it's great. You can see a bunch of them coming in now. I just love this thing. It is so fun. The kids come out every single day and they check on the strawberries. It is great. So far, it's been very, very easy to take care of. I've only had to water it, I think, 2-ish times. And the watering's simple. You just pour a bunch of water into the top and it goes down through that hole. And then it slowly distributes all of that water to all of the plants below it. And the only other thing I do is every other day I come out here and I just give it a half turn so that way all of the strawberries are getting equal amounts of sun. And as you can tell, they're all doing great. And I haven't used the berry cups yet because it's not time, but I will. I got 6 of them and they are just so cute. And I love the concept behind this. So strawberry plants put off runners every single year and it's pretty much an identical plant of the mother plant. And when the runner goes out wherever it meets the soil, it reroots and creates a new plant. So when the runner comes out, I'll just set it in my berry cup, which will be full of soil, of course. And once it reroots, I will cut it off and then I have a brand new strawberry plant that I can transplant elsewhere. And you can fit so many plants in this thing. It's a 7-tier and each tier has 6 plants. So you can put 42 separate plants in this. I'm doing all strawberries, but of course you could do a variety of all kinds of plants if you wanted to. And I've gotten so many questions about what you can grow in this thing, so let me show you. On the first picture there, they're doing all kinds of leafy lettuces and stuff, but here's the actual list. So the original one is a 5-tier because they're deeper. They are 10 inches deep. So you can grow plants in these that have a much deeper root system. I mean, look at this list. It's a long list. There are so many things you can grow in this. And then I have the leaf option, which is a 7-tier. They're a little bit more shallow. They're 7 inches deep. So these can accommodate a lot of other plants that don't need as deep of a root system. So obviously I'm doing the strawberries, but look at how many other options that you could grow in here. I've also gotten a lot of questions about this thing and it possibly tipping over during a windstorm because as you can tell, it is very tall, which I love. I love how tall it is. It's beautiful. It adds a lot of height and dimension to my garden space, which is so pretty. But let's talk about the possibility of it tipping over. So first off, this thing is very heavy. The standard 5-tier one, when it's watered in well and full of dirt, is over 150 pounds. So as you can probably imagine, this thing is very, very heavy. So the weight alone helps keep it from tipping over. The other thing that keeps it from tipping over is the design, and I love how they've done this. All of these lock together. Every tier has one of these, which you can kind of see under here, and it snaps into place. Every single one of these and those notches on every single tier. So that as well helps actually hold it together because each one isn't just sitting on there, it's actually snapped into place. But even then, yes, of course, during a horrific windstorm, especially like what we get here in Kentucky when there's really bad storms or thunderstorms rolling through, there is a risk of it still tipping over. So there's a lot of things that you can do to keep that from happening. The first one is you just take a couple tiers off and set them on the ground when you know a storm's coming because they do easily come off. I've already done it. The other thing that you can do is put it in a place that does not get a lot of wind. So like ideally, you could put it up on a porch like what I have here and lean it against, leaning against, gosh, this is hard, leaning against one of the posts in the corner. And that alone would keep it from tipping over. I cannot put it on our porch though, because our entire wraparound porch to our house is covered, which I love, but that means that it gets absolutely no sunlight. So I have to have it somewhere out here in the garden. So that is why I actually moved this. Originally, I set up my GreenStalk garden right there because I didn't want it blocking any sun to this garden right here. But when it was there, I didn't really have anything to lean it against. So my husband said, let's move it over. And he put it here. That way, the trellis that's part of the wood system behind it from that raised bed does provide it some protection to keep it from blowing over. And I can say we've already had 2 really bad storms go through and it did not tip over. But if you were to set up something like this in the middle of your yard where it had no protection from the wind whatsoever when a storm came through, you have a couple options. You could put a stake down through the middle. Where that water hole is, you could get a metal rod and shove it all the way down through. That just, though, keeps the water system from working like it's supposed to, which is still fine. You can still just come through and individually water each cell. So you could do that, or you could lean it up against a tree. You could, if a storm's coming, if you have it near a tree or a post like this, just put some twine around it or some rope to hold it in place. There's so many things you could do. Or if you really wanted to, you could just separate it into two and leave them to where they all are shorter. So you could do like a 3-tier or a 5-tier. It's up to you, but you have a lot of options. There, of course, is a risk, but really because of how heavy it is, the chances of it actually tipping over are pretty unlikely. But the one bad thing about this spot is where my raised garden bed area is here is kind of like a wind tunnel. Let me show you and explain. So you can see where the woods line is over here. House is there. Wind comes down this hill there and it just rips through this area like a tunnel, boom, and goes back that way, back towards the back field. So unfortunately, in this spot, even though we are near the woods, which would normally break up wind, this specific area is honestly like a wind tunnel. And for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and just separate this into two. We camp a lot during the summer. We take a lot of vacations and travel, and I don't wanna have to worry about this when I'm on vacation. So I would rather just separate it into two, and I have the perfect spot for it because I used to have a big pot here with flowers and a big pot here with flowers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and separate it. I already ordered another base and another top part, which is the waterer, which is actually not snapped in right now because my kids were playing with it a few minutes ago. That's okay. So I'm gonna leave 4 tiers here, and then I'm gonna put the top 3 tiers over there. And these just came in today, which is perfect. So here is my extra waterer, which goes on top. Another spout if I need it, and my base, which I don't need the wheels for the base. You can also get ones that have wheels and they do snap into the bottom there, but I don't want the wheels because I want them to be stationary. But if I were to put it up on a porch, like up there, if I didn't have a covered porch, I would love the wheels because then you could roll it around and put it in different spots on your porch, which would be really fun and pretty. All right, I got that where I want it. Now let's move those top 3 over here. I want this one to be on top because it's the one with all the bigger strawberry plants. These are so heavy. It isn't hard to take apart, but there is a good amount of weight to them. Okay, ignore the background noise because my boys are out here playing, but I do really like it separated into 2. Honestly, it is so pretty, and because this is on a hill, the 3-tier that's here is almost the exact same height as the 4-tier, so it just looks like it really belongs. I love that. And now I have zero fear when I'm camping or on vacation that it's gonna tip over. And I could, if I wanted to later on when we're done traveling or whatever, stack them back up there and have it be tall again. It really doesn't matter, but I love it. It's perfect. So here's the 4-tier, and then over here, these boys, here is the 3-tier. I love that. So there you have it. That is the update on our GreenStalk garden. I really love this. Honest opinion on the product, 10 out of 10. It's just so pretty. It's easy to put together. It's functional. It works really well. And it can be utilized to really grow food or flowers. And if you want to get one of these GreenStalk gardens, now is the time because their Mother's Day sale is going on, so you can get them for a really good price. It would also make such a wonderful Mother's Day gift or a gift for yourself if you want to get one. So I have a link down in the description. There's also a discount code, so get yourself one if you want one. Otherwise, let us know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, happy gardening season and happy homesteading.